Hello everybody, my name is Troublemaker. This is Wargame European Escalation Round 2 of the Wargame Cup. And this is a game between the pack player, Andi Wand. It's a hard name to pronounce. And the NATO player, much easier name to pronounce, Mr. B. Mr. B, of course, is a 2000 ELO player, meaning he's quite dangerous. If you're looking for map analysis, definitely check out my last game, which I will break down the mistake that Mr. Andi Wand is currently making. It's a fairly sizable one, by the way. And so, looking at Andi Wand, I just have a feeling that he might get stomped in. And my feeling is by this. 1, 2, 3, 4 commands. That's minimum 800 resources. You start off with, I believe, 2,000. So that means he only has 1,200 resources worth of units. Now we're looking at Mr. B. Who has 1, 2, 3. He's gonna have an extra 200 resources worth of units. And here they are, the Blackhawks. This is actually quite expensive. This Delta Force unit, very not cheap. However, we're going to get to see this kind of dynamic. It's a map dynamic. So if one player goes Delta Foxtrot, and the other player goes Mike Kilo, then they vie for India. Whereas if they both pick the same side by chance, they would both be fighting for Foxtrot. And at this point, with this particular makeup, Andi Wand's 3 extra command strategy doesn't favor as poorly. Now, on the other hand, he now has to defend 2 different flanks, which is kind of problematic. I just don't know what he can do with this unless he's moving this somewhere else, which at the point it's still not safe. So we're just going to speed this game up a little bit just so we can get past the opening. He does have the multi-rocket launcher, which is kind of crazy at this early in the game, but I do like the rocket launchers for their stun effect. They pretty much almost always stun. And look at this giant wave of infantry. A lot of people really liking the infantry, and look how he's just splitting up units randomly. This is, you know, phenomenally good. The Blackhawks have been caught. This is actually quite dangerous because these are not cheap units by any means, and they've actually been gunned out of this position. And this gives Andi Wand a maybe decent lead, depending on how well this goes. The infantry are taking player positions around, and we have a particular position here. The Scott was not unloaded, so it looks like it will in fact have some problems. Oh, it's actually unloaded. It's firing. This is a fairly even battle considering the difference. And oh my god, Andi Wand, the underdog, has taken the lead. Now we still have this India battle going on. In India, infantry have a very big advantage, and that is because they're in the woods, they can sneak up on everybody. And if you look at these big giant open fields, these anti-tank weapons are going to do very well. Now we do have an anti-tank weapon position here. It doesn't catch off a single BTR 60 PEAI, and another one is number 2 actually are moving out of the woods to try and gather it. And we're kind of settling into largely the mid game. The opener is done, and at this point they're trying to position their troops in such a way so they can cover all flanks while looking for holes in the enemy's defenses. Where did the command go? There was a command here, right? It was here. Now it's gone. I'm so confused. Where did the command go? It definitely didn't cost like 65 points, that's for sure. Oh, he's deploying a Scott. Maybe too deep in the forest. It probably has to be like over here. But he's just trying to sneak it. He's gonna sneak it right here. He's gonna get a whole bunch of free kills for very cheap. This is one of these kind of plays where I'm a little bit questionable about it. I think when you're trying to do something like this, you should bring a lot more units and cover a lot more bases. So like these 4 infantry plus anti-air infantry plus maybe some anti-infantry vehicles or anti-tank vehicles, and just deploy them around this area so you cannot reinforce anything. But so far, all looks good. We have some Martyr VTSIs moving up this position here. Very dangerous units. Some will call them overpowered. We have a small group of units moving forward I don't know what this is exactly for, but we have 3 VABs and a mutt. An unarmored mutt recon. A very cheap recon. I'm assuming these VABs are Chasseurs Famas. They're very, very popular, the Chasseurs Famas. I'm not entirely sure. At this point, any kind of infantry battle would be a trade, however, because of just how many infantry are on the map for Andi Wand. And he hasn't really deployed any of them. He hasn't selected them. He's been too busy microing elsewhere. And here comes some rare ends coming to snipe up a BMP, trying to come back from behind. He's got a lot of these actually deployed. Just look around hunting for any kind of loose single units. There comes the mother VTSI. Eyes. He wants some eyes here, and just whoop. What just happened? Oops! I hit the hide UI button instead of what I want to do. Ha 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 ha! What does he actually see? He sees a single unit moving here, so he has an idea of something happening. I shouldn't hit that button. He doesn't see these scary infantry in the woods, and the infantry are quite scary in this game. If you accidentally run to the infantry, you could be dead. We have some anti-aircraft moving up. And looking at this map, what we're seeing is basically the mirror phenomena I was talking about. In which case, 1, 2, 3, all into India, 1, 2, 3, right into India. What do we have? Oh my god, he really loves it. Loving on these murder VTSIs. They do very, very well. And the toe is going to take it as 60 PAI. Maybe just one shot. No? It might get away. It probably got away. It got away. And we have 3 VABs now moving up into a motor streakel. But only 10 health motor streakel. This will be probably, what, 30 health motor streakel? Or shot from off. Let's see what's inside here actually. Oh, infantry fighting vehicle. On load key go. And here comes the Chasseurs from us invading this position. It's all these small battles when you have higher end games that matter. And he scars himself from there for free 10 points. However, he did lose a VAB, which means that he can't load all the Chasseurs from us back into the VAB. Unfortunate. And we slowly see here that part of Andi Wand's strategy is in fact to try and secure the wooded area here by having a lot of infantry. We also haven't really seen the rocket launcher come to effect. It's just sitting here. There's 2 of them actually, not really in the right location per se. They need to be a little bit further up, but maybe they'll come into effect. Those are very, very expensive. If they get lost, it is game over. Those are about 100, 120 points each. And yes, Andi Wand would love to get his hands on this. He's moving in a lot of 3 tanks, and 2 anti-tank weapons. Just trying to make this location secure. However, we have 2 rear ends moving in position, and oh, we have a little bit of misstep here. Another BTR 60 PAI moves in the open. The murder BTSIs are quickly to punish and take another vehicle kill off. It's a long, long road for Mr. B to come back when it's all small microtransactions like this. Well, here's the other command I was thinking. The original base command is actually just right here. It's going to take a hotel, and this is actually going to give a very sizable advantage to Andi Wand. Keep in mind, he defended a lot more aggression, and he has really reaped the benefits of that. Now, whether he'll be able to sustain is something else. PTR Conquerors are winding up. This is hard to say. The Conquerors have a considerable advantage, but they might not. Oh, there goes the rockets. There we go. All round rockets. You know, this kind of engagement is hard to say. An anti-infantry vehicle versus an Wait, let me try it again. An anti-infantry vehicle versus an anti-vehicle infantry. It's one of these little, you know, who knows what will happen scenarios. The Ravens are going to pick off another one of these BTR 60 PAIs though. It's still a long, long road for Mr. B to come back though. He's behind about 164 points, and he's 1 base down. He will need to unload another 2 bases to come back in income at this point. And he's just using these little support vehicles as hunters, infantry hunters, which is perfect because the enemy is mostly infantry. He did decide to opt for these M18TV LSKs though, which are probably going to throw a little bit of a wrench into the machine of Mr. B. The transport helicopter loaded with guns, trying to come in and snipe this support vehicle. Unfortunately, support vehicles actually do fairly well against anti-air, so this could represent a fairly sizable loss of the battle for Andi Wand, as his planes are already routed, already moving in position, and are looking like they will make this collapse. Wisely, Andi Wand pulls back, but just not in time. Luckily, it's also not a big cost. We do have the 5 T-55s. T-55s, of course, are the cheapest tanks in the game. I believe they go for 15 points, something like that. Killing these things is just not worth it. They just don't do enough in the game. They are designed to be cheap soakers for attacks, but realistically, people are just using them to fatten up their armies. And already we have 1 tank down. Oh, 1 support vehicle down. That's a pretty sizable lead. We have the tanks. Might win this? Yes, they do. They will, in fact, win this. And they're taking down the support vehicles, which are, in fact, in terror. Lots of trouble going on here. They can't put out fire. Yeah, so these support vehicles. We have a small battle here. A Conquerors versus Chasseurs. So that's not very favorable for the Conquerors. And this area, which represents not much of a strategical value, other than this FO. There's no FOB. This has no strategic value. Well, kinda. I mean, if Mr. B can take this position, he can hit a hotel. It's kinda dangerous. And really, there's not much of an effort being made to take India. It's unfortunate these VABs did get caught off guard by these tanks, and they should die. Air tanks and all. And we have some Cobras coming up. Not actually that much anti-air here for Andi Wand, so he's probably gonna have a little bit of trouble dealing with these Cobras as they're moving up and they're getting ready to strike and they're winding up. Looks like they're gonna fire on these T-55s. I mean, not even worth the ammunition. T-55s veer off course. The second wave of rockets heads their way, crashing into their flank. And these tanks have served their purpose. They're really cheap, that's the thing. You can almost afford to lose these on purpose. But he has a pretty solid defense, other than, you know, this whole thing here. And things are going very, very well for Andi Wand, actually. Kind of surprising. The match is still very close. There is a Molka on the map, interestingly enough, getting supplied from a Ural, and it looks like it's doing some very, very long range firing. It's actually showing its location, so pack player Andi Wand playing very well. The Murder VTSI spinning up, looks like it's going to pick up maybe this BTR out in the open. It has unloaded its cargo and it's firing back. It's a hit. Oh my god, it hit. That is scary. This man is just everywhere. Of course, these Martyr VTSIs cannot target down infantry, so the Conquerors do in fact survive. As this Martyr VTSI is just running into all the wrong locations, Modus Strucali does catch it off guard, and it is out of here. This is a lot of units on the map. It's kind of crazy that there's so many units on the map. Look at all these units. They have literally created a border full of units. And what has to do with the fact that Andi Wand really loves these cheap infantry units. And we do in fact, oh my god, have a Sheridan, 2 Sheridans going into attack. Driving at these very weak, very inferior T-55 tanks. We have 2 gunships here, lots of anti-air though, however for Mr. B could cause him some problems. And whoa, we have some smirks on the map. This is troublesome for Mr. B. And we also have some lot of infantry. He just loves infantry. And I can understand that. I like infantry a lot too. Infantry is like my best friend. Sheridan tanks are going to maybe take it this recon. It's not moved quite in time. Actually, both shots miss. The recon has quite some survivability just yet. Lots of infantry coming in. It's probably time for Mr. B to think about getting a flamethrower tank of some sort. Just to deal with the fact that there's so much infantry on this map. It's actually insane. And here we go. He's going in for a big position. It gets shot down immediately by the Sheridan. He unloads his Conquerors to unload it into position here, trying to get as close as possible. And there's another Conquerors here, catches the Raritan off guard. The Raritan guns down the vehicle, and we do have, oh my god, the submerge attack, which didn't do that much damage. It did put a roll into place, and oh my god, we have a big giant volley of, I'm trying to find out where he has this to. It's a huge volley of artillery fire, and it only hits this Conquerors. Not the best use of resources. And oh my god, the Chasseurs must rush ahead, peel off this enemy. Maybe the beginning of the comeback, who knows. We have 3 VABs caught off guard here, however, though, and it's trying to get this command armor. If they get this command armor, that's huge, and looks like it might just get away. In fact, it is forced to evacuate this location. Quite a little problem here for Andi Wand, who has been playing fairly aggressively, not need to move any units place. The Conquerors will in fact get this VOB, and the BRM 1K will be secured and saved. It's going to be a little bit troublesome securing this location again, because we have Chasseurs Mas, Ravens, VABs, Repas, and we have some Cobras coming in from the side, swiping in. This could be the beginning to a very successful comeback. He's moved up from being about 300 points behind to only 90. Only 90. And we have some Chasseurs Mas getting gunned down, though this might hurt quite a bit. And it's just a little scout helicopter, of course, but just enough to rout him. Tanks peeling off. We have, oh my god, we have some Cobra helicopters sitting, sideswiping these T-55s. We have Raridans winding up, trying to jump into the action. Sorry. Chasseurs Mas are also moving into position. All they really want to do is get into the woods here, get these free Scots. Scots are free. They do not have weapons. They are used for positioning and scouting. But unfortunately, this Chasseurs Mas will in fact get gunned down, as its War 1 member is like, I don't want to be here. I don't know why they run me into a tank and then let me out as I approach the tank. That doesn't make sense. The VABs are coming in. They have the Raridans over here as well. The T-55s are driven back. They're moving back. And the Chasseurs Mas are coming out of the woods. Not a great statistical choice. I would have kept them in the woods, but hey, there's also artillery coming down here from the Malka, so maybe it's not such a bad choice. The T-55s are pretty panicked, not shaken, panicked. They are stirred, and oh, they got gunned down. The MI-24P saves the day. Chasseurs Mas are on the move. They are going to get some free Scots, which are not the most high value units, and unfortunately things have kind of shifted again in favor of Andi Wand, who's back up by even higher amount now, 260 point lead, all because of this, what do I call, very misplayed style play. We have some Bukmis here hitting off these Cobras, which should retreat. This is getting very scary, very stressful, very tense for Mr. B, who up until this point could have easily been a favorite, and this is problem, man. We have some artillery fire, all the ground units are dead, and all that's really left is these Cobras, and he just doesn't know what to do with them. The attack, although looking very successful initially, has in fact failed. He's going to get some free OT-64 Scott 1s, which are just infantry carriers. They don't have any weapons. They're not really hugely valuable. And he's going to move his shot source from an awesome place to try and take these woods. But realistically, this has been a huge step. Oh my god, he might be just really overstepping here. Trying to chase down this MI for people. That would be huge, but it's very risky, very stressful. This critical impact, it is winding up its own weapons, but it has problems. It is so hard. He is landing, and one Cobra's down. Looks like there is in fact some kind of anti-air here. And we have other anti-airs moving up to try and cover. These Cobras have to get out of here. Already a 400 point hit on the wand. Hugely, Mr. B is in trouble. He cannot keep this up. You have anti-air coming in here from this direction, and a big giant wave of artillery spamming on this location. And all the Cobras are down. This has been a big botched attack. A 500 point lead. I'm bad at math. It's a 400 point lead. A 400 point lead for Andi Wand, who is now moving back his command into the regular position. Nope, he cannot, but he will try. The Flak Panzers are coming in. They're about to get gunned down by a bunch of T-55s. This is not a very favorable trade. This has not been the best game for Mr. B. And Kilo is actually still very contested. In fact, India is less contested than Kilo is, which is interesting style of play we have here. These Flak Panzers will go down. There's no freaking way they can survive this. There's no way. How can they survive this? They're tanks. Tanks versus anti-air tanks? I don't think so. And the T-55s are pushing back the Flak Panzer. It's winding up. I wonder what it's going to try. The T-55s are moving up in pursuit. They're not going to let this Flak Panzer get away. These are actually expensive ones. These are the non-normal M42A1 ones. These are probably about like 60 points each. I think it's about 60 points each. Let's see when one falls down. And this is, well, there is a little bit of artillery fire kind of attacked, but it looks like the tanks have in fact sustained their morale with this recon and moving up. And these Flak Panzers have actually survived quite longer than I thought they would. They are pretty tough little buggers. I thought they would just get gunned down. Well, these are T-55s as well, the cheapest of the cheapest. And in fact, they're only worth 30. Oh, God. And I thought they were worth something. Oh, he is running out of fuel. Here's an interesting situation. He's got 200 liters worth of fuel. And either he'll run out of fuel or he'll die. Now, we have some Cobras and Apaches also trying to cover this retreat. And there is, in fact, no anti-aircraft in the way, so these Cobras could do some damage. But he has chosen to not pursue with the Cobras, because he has been burned in the past by Cobras. Alright, so speeding this game ahead, we have a lot of infantry coming in. Looks like he's taking a page from the book of Andi Wand, and here comes the Apaches in trying to snipe. This is what I was talking about, just lots of opportunity here. He's got to get this armor recon though, because that's the one thing that can really hurt this infantry push. And he is in fact targeting down the recon. It's very smart. The recons give eyes, and once you destroy eyes, you're pretty safe. You get to Scott, which once again, Scots are not really all valuable. It was put there largely for this same purpose. And it's one of these weird situations where Mr. B is playing strategically very well, and he's winning ground, but he's not really trading effectively. He makes up a small little, oh, never mind. It's just a big giant shelling of artillery, which did considerably high amounts of damage. 120 points worth of damage. Yikes. Lucky fire is lucky. And so now these Cobras are empty on, we're getting low on a very key ammo source. They might consider not overstretching. Oh, we have some OSAAK anti-aircraft gunning them down. Clear sign he probably went too far. Because once the rockets go empty, the helicopters will immediately try to get into the closest possible range for fire. Oh, there's actually a Scot here, so there's probably some sort of play involved here. That involves this constant pinging. It's annoying, constant pinging. Alright, so speeding ahead, mostly because it's Christmas. And just got called down to decorate the Christmas tree. Looks like he's pushing in with the BAB. There is an MI-24P here. The shots first must have been split up and are falling apart at the seams. Martyr VTSI, oh no, running right into the tank. The tanks are not targeting it. Neither is this PT-71. The Martyr VTSIs might do a lot more damage than they did last time, that's for sure. And oh, they get the recon right away. These are very dangerous units. High veterancy Martyr VTSI do extremely well. It is moving up in level quite fast, so that kind of tells us that's not very high level actually. It's not a high vetted unit. We have some MI-24P though to support, and the Martyr is retreating. Oh no! We have an Apache coming in, try and snipe these tanks. And some T-55s scrolling along the back to try and cover any retreat. Any attempt at retreat will be met with T-55 aggression, the cheapest tank in the game. I know, I shouldn't call things cheap. Well, with this all thwarted, we see that the new T-55s are coming in. They really want to get these Martyrs. And here they come across the battlefield, just staring so patient. They might need a little more than this. One of the Martyr VTSIs on fire. And we have some helicopters over here. Over here, of course. M1 Sheridan. Whoa. This is another bad idea. All these new units are getting smashed back. Artillery fire really hurts these poor little toes. Toes are very unarmed, but not unable to survive this. Martyr V says, run to the Motos Trico! This is not good. This is not what he wants happening. This is a very good play by Andi Wand. Just has all the units everywhere he needs them to have them. He's got 4 infantry here. Looks like he's trying to recapture these Urals. And he does. He's got anti-aircraft missile, which is barraging over here, killing off another one. This is a very disastrous campaign for Mr. B, who looks like he'll probably be eliminated from the tournament as these Sheridans are forced to run from armored personnel carriers. That's crazy. More Martyr VTSIs going down over here. And with a little bit of triple in here. Oh, it's just an empty Scot. He wants to kill off his Scots. Let's see what's over there. And, yeah, like this is looking like a pretty clear-cut win for Andi Wand, who has just had set up very good defense and has cut off every single attack. There's a main battle tank, oddly enough, in the woods here, which could do a lot of damage to this oncoming onslaught of infantry who are not within close range of it. And in fact, all his infantry were swiped off, giving a little bit of a point back. And here comes the AMXs. These are very good tanks. I like these tanks. I use them myself. I'm trying to pick up all these T-55s. It's got a very high range, and they get all of them. They get all of them. These are not a tank you want on. They're very good at what they do. We have a little bit of action over here as well, because it was all cleaned up relatively easy. But the AMXs is a key. But they're very expensive tanks, and because of that, it looks like. Oh, I see. I had this backwards. I thought Mr. B was a high-rated player. It's actually Andi Wand that's a high-rated player. That explains a lot. Well, I hope you enjoyed this match from this 2026 ELO rated player. I will see you again next time.